To bless something is to honor the divine, to honor the one, to honor what is sacred in that thing, in that person. To bless is to honor. Now, in my experience growing up in various, Western environments, I have been blessed a few times by a monk in Thailand who dipped a stick in water and threw it over me. And the imagination of receiving a blessing was beneficial. Why else did I drive up to the top of a mountaintop and look at one of the larger Buddhas in Thailand and enjoy, seeing the monks doing their work? And it was a beautiful intention to bless and be blessed. But outside of that, most of us can go years without receiving any blessing. A blessing for being alive, a blessing for bringing their gifts forward, a blessing for accomplishment, blessing on the success and accomplishment. And so blessing is perhaps a 10 to 15% opportunity. The experience of being blessed, of being honored, accepted, blessed, for any area of our lives, in my experience, raises the quality of that experience by a good 15% plus. And so on the spectrum of intelligence, which is measuring the efficiency with which energy is transformed into sustainable well-being, blessing is an arena of intelligence that in mainstream cults are being squandered. And one of the reasons they're being squandered is that the betrayal and hypocrisy and pain of, say, a Catholic church, when you realize that 5% of their priests may be involved in pedophilic activity, and that the higher-ups at the Vatican spend more money paying off and covering up the abuse than they do informing the community. And so it's not a really good, you don't want to be blessed by that. That feels kind of, disgusting. Or, you were boxed, your ears were boxed and you're dragged into church and told to be on your best behavior and stop expressing your feelings about, how irritated you were to be in church. And, and you don't want anything to do with, all of that nonsense. And so blessing goes out the window with the dysfunctional relationship with an organized religion based on a certain amount of domination and fear. Fear God. And so in that framework, to reclaim blessing as something that anyone can do in a ritual, that there is a part of every human being that has the power, that has the ability to say, I accept this, I welcome this, I bless this, you are blessed. And to give and receive that blessing is a really potent experience, which can far outstrip the experience of kneeling in front of a Thai Buddhist who doesn't speak English and having water flecked on you, which may or may not mean something. The meaning that I meant, that I enjoyed was, here's a guy who's spending his time in a materialistic world bestowing a blessing. What a lovely job to have, and what a lovely thing to receive. It was as simple as that. But that can be far more meaningful when people close to you are willing to bestow blessing. That can be far more meaningful when it can be done in your own language with words. When it can be a hug, when your community can honor the blessing. There's a tremendous capacity to enhance a sense of communion, of coming together. And the ritual of blessing, to bless someone and to be blessed, it's powerful in both roles. And it's powerful to break the dominant taboos within organized religion, which have men at the top of all the main religions, to have women bless men, and men bless women, and women bless women, and men bless men. There's a tremendous doorway that we're just a little bit of a crack open. And what makes it a 10 out of 10 in intelligence, even though it may only, in its stronger forms, it could add 25% to one's quality of life. Just the euphoria, I've been blessed and accepted by my tribe, by my community, by the people who know me the most. That's a meaningful blessing, as opposed to a stranger blesses you and you always wonder, well, could they accept my crabby side? Could they accept my sadistic side? Well, when a community member who has lived with you for 5 years and seen you at your best and seen you at your worst offers a blessing, it feels in some ways more real. There's no question about, is the shadow side, is the challenging side also included in that blessing? So, powerful arena to play. And so, in joining the community, an orientation on the power of blessing. And just to finish the thought, if you can raise intelligence, or if you can raise sustainable well-being by 15% or more in a matter of a 5-minute ritual, in a 3-minute ritual, that consumes absolutely no resources, no money, no resources, and a 15%. That's the holy grail of intelligence, to generate massive amounts of sustainable well-being, which then ripples out. Because when you feel blessed, when you feel accepted, there's a radiance, there's an ability to be in one's body and be more present. That then gets translated and transferred to everyone else. And so, it can be as simple as each community member in the app going through the blessing areas and listing the things they would most find meaningful to be blessed for. Because this is also subjective. One person may want to be blessed for being born, and nobody ever did that. The blessing of a traditional christening, this was never done. And if you have mixed feelings about a patriarchal religion, you may have mixed feelings about being blessed by that patriarchal religion. But if you can be blessed as a human being for being born by someone you respect and care about that's close to you, it can be profoundly meaningful. And there's a certain energy that connects in, that is a feeling of rightness and oneness with what is. And when any individual connects in with that state, from that state, it is authentic to bless. And from that state, you can give a blessing that can be heartfelt and meaningful to receive. As I talk about this and look at the probability field, I ache for the lack of blessing. I think we're hungry as a cult, as a people, for blessing. And why not receive, at least 11 blessings a year in the manner of your choosing from people you would love to be blessed by. I, Dane Rose, bless you, and I bless the intelligence that sees you here, exploring the unknown, curious, open, with an intention of bringing beauty, truth, and goodness into the world, to grow yourself and help others. I bless you for being here in this space and in this exploration.